Hey everyone, it's Jake of Jake's Metal Chats. I hope you're all well and staying safe. You had a great Christmas and also have a great new year. As it is coming to the end of this year, I thought to myself, while planning this video, that I haven't actually done a video on my top favorite metal albums at all on this channel, and I've seen so many of my favorite metal YouTubers do this, and I never got around to it. And as I've bought a lot of albums and EPs this year, I'm going to do that. And there's so many more that I listen to. They're not in my collection yet, but they will be. So I will have a list down in the description or even in the comments, so you can have a look there. So before I prattle on anymore, here is my top favorite metal albums and EPs of 2021. So I'm going to dive right into the collection with some technical brutality from one of my favorite bands out of Canada. And I'm talking about Archspire with their new album, Bleed the Future. Now, this album, what do you get with it? Before I get to what you get from this album, it's just, look at that artwork. That is stunning. Stunning artwork, and of course got the back with all the songs. It might be reflecting, I do apologize. Released by Season of Mist, and they always release good stuff. Sorry, rephrase that. Great stuff. Nope. Yeah. It's the CD. Look at that. Oh wait, that was reflecting a bit. I'm sorry. And also Bleed the Future. Now, what do you get with this album? Just savage, technical, brutal savagery. From start to finish, all the songs are just absolutely fucking awesome. From the instruments to the vocals. The vocals are mental. Any song that you hear by Archspire, is his vocals, they stand out, because it's just literally just, it's like his vocals are just, it's like a pinball machine just going back and forth, and like, you know, going absolutely mental. It's described as shotgun vocals if you go on MetalHead. Is Oliver doing the vocals. Also, I'll get the book out so you can see the artwork without the logo and the title of the album. And also Stay Tech, which one of my friends has got tattooed on his arm. And of course, vocals. Oliver. And of course we got, oh, I'm going to read more out. So we've got Spencer on the drums, Oliver on vocals, Toby on guitar, Dean on guitar, and Jared on bass. And all very talented musicians. And if you don't have this album yet, I highly recommend that you do, because ever since hearing it, it's become one of my favorites of 2021. And another band that I think, and this is my opinion, that I can compare them to is Cytotoxin. Everyone's got their own opinion. This is my opinion, and here's why I compare them, because they're both overly technical and savage. Everything about both of these bands, and Braindrill, let's mention Braindrill, a name that hasn't been mentioned too much. Just the amount of detail that goes into this album, like, of course, with all the instruments and the vocals, there's the amount of time and effort put into it with all the albums that I'll be showing here and EPs. And yeah, just definitely get it. Well, if you haven't got it in your collection, you probably heard it on Spotify or whatever, but definitely get the actual album into your collection. You won't be disappointed. Next one, definitely one of my favorites of this year since hearing it. it just mixes old school death with brutal death and slam, and their names just one of those names that can now, if you say it enough, will roll off your tongue. And it's Sangra Sugabog with Tortured Hole. Definitely one of my other favorites of this year, of 2021. What do you get with this album? Of course, got to turn around there, is on Century Media Records. With this, well, I mentioned and there's the CD. You get the old school death. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything in progress. Or at least into the camera. You get the old school death mixed with the brutal death, mixed with the slam, and just hearing this album, you're just like, well, holy shit. This album is absolutely mental, and it's up there in terms of just how much time and effort is in there and just how brutal it is. And these guys have been around since 2018. 2019, so 2 years. They've been around for 2 years, and of course, this is their debut of this year, and I got to remind myself when it came out. It's March of this year. And yeah, if you don't have it yet, if any of these albums here, if you don't have them, albums and EPs, if you don't have them, this is one you should definitely get. And if you are really, really into your death metal, if you love your death metal, you love old school death, you're going to love it. If you love brutal death, you're going to love it. If you love slam, you're definitely going to love it. Or if you love all three, you're definitely going to love it. Like I said about Archspire, it's savage. It's savage, it's heavy, and I was thinking of this word, it's a chunky album. There's some chunky riffs in this. Absolutely, it's also quite disgusting sounding, which is great when you hear that in a death metal album like this, and stuff like from Undergang and Hyperdontia, and any bands that you can think of that have that dirty, swampy sound. Yeah. Of course, Bristol band, Crypt got a very dirty, nasty sound, and definitely with this, that's what you want with a band like this. It's got to be dirty and nasty and just heavy as anything. So definitely pick up Tortured Hole by Sangra Sugabog, which I got from Black City Records. And I will be talking about that either at the end of this video or halfway through showing the collection. Next one, sticking with some death metal here. This is the new one by Asphyx, and I'm probably going to say this name wrong, but it's Necroceros. I think I've said that wrong, but my pronunciations are shit. They're not good at the best of times. And definitely old school death metal, death doom. And of course, we've got the back. There's the man himself, Mr. Martin Van Drunen. And this is released also by Century Media Records, of course. Now, what do you get for this? Old school sounding death metal. Well, old school sounding death doom. And I know Liam, the Death Doom Metalhead, has got this in his collection. I'm pretty sure he's got on vinyl. I think he's got on vinyl. I know he's got on CD. Of course, he was one of my guests on Jake's Metal Chat. And also, a friend of mine named Elliot Lever mentioned this album when we were at the opening of Black City Records. And it's just a phenomenal album, and I definitely agree with him on that. But this album, definitely, I will definitely rate as a great release, an awesome release. I'm going to take the book out of the case so you can see it. Of course, everything I'm saying about these albums are my opinion. Everyone's got to have their own opinion. There's a little picture in here. So I never like showing pictures because my thumb or fingers might be blocking a lot of them. And obviously, it's got pictures of the band. I got a better one of Wardruna. Of course, he used to be, as we all know, he used to be in Pestilence. Let's show the other guys. There's lyrics there. Paul. I think Alwyn. This one. Wearing a Woombath shirt, very nice. And of course, Stefan. Again, I might be saying names wrong, might be saying other things wrong. That's just me, though. Again, you don't have this album or the last two albums I just showed you in your collections. Pick them up, unless you've already heard it via any site that you use for listening to music, so Spotify, YouTube, wherever. Definitely get this album. Yeah, I'm just going to go through these albums quick as possible. Next one, it's from a band that hasn't released anything since 2019, and this band's been going since the late 80s, and they started out as a death metal band and obviously released demos and their debut album as a death metal band. Of course, I'm talking about the Norwegian black metal band. Or in the case of this album, it's black heavy metal. That's the best I can describe it, unless I get them on here. But let me just get this up first. It's Darkthrone with Eternal Hells. See, I said it. See, I told you I was going to say something wrong. So, Eternal Hells, the new album by Darkthrone, and of course, the two masterminds behind the band. See, like I said, people always mess up on titles. But yeah, this is their. Hang on, let me just get. This is their new release. In more than they released this year, and it's their first one since Old Star, if I remember. Yep, Old Star. And this band hasn't played live since 1996. And of course, it's on one of my favorite record labels, Peaceville. What do you get with this album? And just looking them up again, they are classed as black heavy speed metal. So it's a black heavy speed metal release. And look at the artwork. It's just pretty much, I think, summing up what this album is. It's heavy. It's very atmospheric, and just a really cool release. And because I was thinking, well, I don't know what this album's going to be like because I haven't done anything since Old Star in 2019, and it's and you know what? I wasn't disappointed with this album. I absolutely loved it. Other people might have their own opinion, but and also I was going to mention Fenris is wearing a Massacre shirt, which is awesome because we've got Nocturno. Yeah, Nocturno. I was looking at like doesn't say Nocturnus, you idiot. So if anyone is familiar with Darkthrone, which I hope you all should be, they've been around since 1986. Well, they're under a different name in 1986 to 1987, but they've been Darkthrone since 1987. And yeah, I definitely rate this album. It's cool, it's atmospheric, and it mixes three different genres that a lot of people will love. So if you're a fan of black metal, you're going to love it. Heavy metal, love it. Speed metal, or if you love all three, you're going to love it. Like I said about Sangra Sugabog, I said old school death metal and then brutal death and then slam. Definitely give this a go if you saw it or you were thinking you might be a bit skeptical. Don't be. It's a great album. It's sorry, let me rephrase that. It's a brilliant album. And on the top it says epic black heavy metal. Because obviously it mixes black metal and heavy metal together. And it's definitely one of my favorite releases of this year. Now going from like death metal, black, heavy metal, I'm going to go into a different band, more on the progressive side. This is the new one from one of my favorite bands from France. And I've seen these guys, I don't know how many times I've seen these guys now. It's mental, but I have met them a couple of times. And of course, I'm talking about Gojira with Fortitude. Build them up there. So yeah, Gojira Fortitude. I absolutely love this album. I got this posted to me the day before it got released. So as soon as I got it, uploaded it, listened to it, and I was like, yes. And of course, I'm going to show the CD, which I think I forgot to do with Darkthrone. Of course, Darkthrone fashion. Yes, the logo. So once again, Darkthrone, Eternal Hells. And now back to Gojira, Fortitude. And this band always seems to step it up from every release that they've done. Obviously, one of my favorite albums by them is The Way of All Flesh. But with this album, I think it just got more back into like when they were a death metal band. It's mixed. It's mixed some death metal in there. I thought that was, I know it. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. There's a picture. And what do you get with this album? It's in true Gojira fashion. It's heavy, it's melodic, and it's atmospheric. It's just something like that. It's just they don't disappoint this band. They don't disappoint me or any other metal fan that I've seen at their shows, like, at all. Some people might think, nah, I didn't like it. They might prefer Way of All Flesh or Magma or from Archspire to this or any of that albums, but I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely loved it. Of course, released by Roadrunner Records. Been around for years, and I don't know why I said like that. But, excuse me. And bear out and in. And, yeah, definitely one that you should have in your collection. I pretty much completed my Gojira collection, but they are now working on a new album. So then again, it's like, well, it's not complete yet because I've got that one. So, Gojira Fortitude. I definitely recommend this. If I was going to say my favorite songs from this album, sorry, it would be Born for One Thing, Amazonia, Another World, Newfound, and The Chant. Those are definitely my top favorite songs on this album. But all in all, brilliant album. Definitely pick it up. Now, this one's not a metal album as such, but it's worth mentioning because this band has just been putting out music left, right, just all over the place. And of course, I am talking about I'm like my favorite folk album, but it's very atmospheric, and a lot of metalheads love this band. It's Wardruna, and I'm not even going to say the title of the album. because my pronunciation of Scandinavian words can be a bit hit or miss. But that's the album name. Of course, with this album, it was supposed to be released last year, but obviously Einar Selvik, the man behind Wardruna, wanted to wait. And of course, we had to wait, and I was meant to see him in 2020, but obviously that went nowhere because of, you know, what happened. And I was meant to see him this year, but that didn't happen, so it will be next year in March is the CD. Yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I'm not going to try. Of course, put the book. And I think, if I remember correctly, is a picture. Oh, well, it's a picture of the bird now. So, yeah, if anyone who is watching this can, you know, get a good pronunciation of the album name, then it'll help me to better. That's not a picture. It'll help me to better pronounce it, because again, my pronunciations are not good at the best of times. Of course, we got we have Lindy and Einar, of course, in the picture here. I think that's Lindy there. Of course, we've got Einar, who, for anyone who is into Wardruna, I may not know this, but a lot of us will know this. Einar used to be the drummer in Golgoroth. And also, he was in a band with King of Hell, which I will be shown in my Black City Records live stream, which I'll mention now. That's on tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time. So it might be different times for those in America, Canada, and, well, yeah, in Europe, of course, Scandinavia. Yeah. So if you can make it, it's going to be streaming not only from YouTube, but my Facebook page and my Twitch channel. So whichever platform you're on, be sure to pop on in, hang out, and let's chat metal. But yeah, definitely. What do you get with this? It's atmospheric. It's relaxing, and in its own way, it's heavy, because you got the frame drum, you got just the amount of different vocals that you get in this album, and it just makes me so excited to see Wardruna next year, just so much more, because I'm just gonna literally be there, just like, I think with this with Wardruna's music, you're in a trance of sorts, because it's just the amount of atmosphere that's put into it, and the time and effort that Einar and the rest of the guys in the band put into it. So definitely get this. Even if you're not into folk music as such, I mean, I definitely think that people should give Wardruna a listen. Like I said, I highly recommend Wardruna if you're just looking for some music to relax you, and that's definitely one that will relax you after a hard day at work. And with all the albums I'm going to be showing you as well, albums and EPs, definitely with metal music, for me, it does relax me. Now, before we go on to the next lot, definitely, again, with the Black City Records stream, definitely pop on by, because I will be going into a lot of detail about that, about the shop, definitely. And of course, I will be showing everything that I've gotten from that shop, I've bought from that shop, which mostly some of the albums that I've shown you have been from there, like Archspire and Sangra's Sugabog. And the next one is a Bristol band. I'm getting onto the locals now. This band formed last year, and the one who formed the band, she's from another band called Salbod. And I've seen Salbod. Well, this band hasn't played live yet. I don't know if it's going to be a live band as such. And it's another one I got from Black City Records, and it's a Nocturnal with Wretched Abyss. Yeah, Nocturnal are become one of my favorite new bands of this year. Black metal here in Bristol. It's Serena, who is from Salbod. What else we got that? And this was released on Church Road Records, which I don't think I've heard of them. But we'll definitely see what else they bring out. Now, what do you get with this album? Black metal. It's atmospheric. It's just a solid album, and again, time and effort went into it. And I thought this was a book, but it's not. It's just the artwork, which is pretty cool. Of course, you don't have the logo and the album name in the actual artwork. Yeah, that's a really, really cool album and cool artwork. Brilliant album. It's atmospheric. And of course, I know someone who plays on this album. Serena, I only met a couple of times. The first time was at Temples Fest here in Bristol, which, if anyone who's been there will know, she was playing in her band Salbod. And the other person I know, Matt, who, if you've gone to the Griffin here in Bristol, you usually see him working behind the bar. And he played guitar and the bass on here. I don't know who done the drums, because it's not showing the band members on it, but I'll have a gander as to who did what. Okay, well, it looks like Serena did all the instruments. And that's about it. If I remember correctly, Matt said he did guitar and bass on here as well. So, yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a new band within the black metal scene, definitely check out Nocturnal. Again, just a solid album with just beautiful riffs, the beautiful, harsh black metal vocals, of course, from Serena. And, you know, to rephrase that, the harsh vocals on here. Everything on this album is just beautiful. It's absolutely it's just perfect. Perfect to me. If you have heard it and you've got your own opinion, again, everyone's got their own opinion. Now, the only other black metal album that I got in this collection, in this list of my favorite albums and EPs, is a band from Sweden that I only just got around to checking out. This is their new album. Of course, it's their new album. What am I on about? And what a new album it is. It's from Wormwood, and it's called Arkivet. Just Wormwood there, Arkivet there. Like Nocturnal, this is a solid album. It's just from start to finish, just absolutely brutal. Absolutely atmospheric. It's melodic in places. It's got the CD is all white and grey, and what's that piece of literature there? This is from getting there. This is from Black Lodge. Never heard that label. How I discovered these bands? Sorry, my nose is running a bit. Okay, I might not be able to get the book out. I discovered them on the Jim Beerman show, run by Jim Beerman, and he played my favorite song on here since hearing it and I've seen the video, called "The Gentle Touch of Humanity." And if you have seen the video, you know what I'm on about. Every time I hear that song, I start to well up because it's just a powerful song. And seeing the video just shows you what sort of horrible shit that happens in this world. And I mean, and with all the other songs are just absolutely flawless. It's just a brilliant album. Another one I got from Black City Records, because I asked David, could you get this in? And he said, no problem. So I was just checking, there we go. And he said, no problem. And got in, went and picked it up, and yep, put the album on, and then played it all the way through. And I will definitely be playing this more often. Same with all the other albums. Just over and over and over and over and over again. And why? Again, why? Because metal music is something all us metalheads love. It gets us out of that place we don't want to be. And when we play this, it's like, and this album, with all the other albums and EPs I will be showing in this video, will definitely get you out of that place. And this album, of course, will definitely be like, give you that whoa sort of. So you'd be like, wow, this is a great album. And I say, a great album. It's a brilliant album. It's and of course, one of my favorites of this year. And I will be getting the other albums that were released before this. And I hope to see Wormwood live. Man, now I'm going to get onto some EPs here before I get onto the last few albums. So I'm going to go with another CD first. This is a band that's an international band, so they're from Portugal, here in the UK, and Ireland. And I got to see them at HRH Vikings in 2020, obviously this year. Didn't have to say 2021. We know it was 2021. And it was their debut show of 2021. There we go. And this band formed in 2019. They released 5 singles around 2020. I could be wrong. Let me just double check that. So I'm not. 5 singles. Good thing for having notes and Encyclopedia Metallum at disposal. And this is their debut EP. It's Eoton with Die by the Sword. And this band, oh my shit. This band is just epic. This EP is awesome. It's brilliant. Both those things. And I'm just not going to see the other. And there's all the tracks. And of course, where you can find them. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Bandcamp. CD looks like this. A nice white with the logo and the title and all the songs in black writing, of course, because you get it in white one. It's like, but what do you get with this? You go on the Metallum page, they are classed as power metal, but they definitely have that folk edge to them. You can hear it in all the songs. And Tiago, the vocalist, who I got to know last year and finally got to meet in this year, along with all the other members of the band, from the Facebook group called the Folk Metal Grove. If anyone's watching this and you know the Folk Metal Grove, then you've probably seen me post stuff on there or replying to Tiago's message about how our week was, how our week was and what we got up to and everything. But definitely, yeah, this is their debut EP, again, of 2021. And you can get it on their Bandcamp. They do have t-shirts. So my t-shirt will be here sometime next year. And yeah, so I'll show that again before CD decides to fall out. Yeah, I love the logo. I love the band. When I saw them at Vikings, they just blew me away. I was singing to pretty much I was all headbanging, just going, just shouting, hey, and put my horns and fists up in the air. And of course, the two songs that I sang to the most, because those are the songs I just constant, which is like, yeah, were The Golden Throne and Die by the Sword. And The Golden Throne, if you type Eoton and The Golden Throne, they made a music video and they asked a bunch of us if you can film ourselves, send it to them, they'll put it in the video. And I did that. You see me with my black jeans on, my Windsor Phillips shirt and my monomorph vest. Basically, I was in a lot of black with a toy axe. Because if I went out there with an actual axe, I'd be like, okay. It's like, and of course I wear a lot of black clothing as it is. So again, get this album, the EP even, and show this band support, like their Facebook page, obviously on there. And if you're also up for it, join the Folk Metal Grove page, that group page, and just meet some good, awesome, like-minded people. Now the next one is another Bristol band, and again, I got to remind myself when a lot of these bands formed. This band formed last year as well, and they have 3 releases out. And I saw the picture of the guy behind the band, and I recognise him because I might have chatted to him before because he's in another band called Fetus Christ. This is his one-man death doom metal band called Visions from Beyond, and the new EP is called Drawing Down the Darkness. Yeah, I have the tape because I bought the tape from his Bandcamp, which obviously I got to listen to the digital version before the physical release gets here, and I'm going to get the tape out. A nice white cassette. That's really nice, isn't it? And it's on Dry Cough Records. A lot of people be familiar with Dry Cough, and of course, hang on a minute, one's a code for the EP, and of course, I might be showing it wrong, but here's a little sticker. I'll see if I can. I don't like taking them out of. Oh, that's pretty easy. So the artwork there. Of course, Dry Cough and the songs there, and open it there. Nice bit of artwork there, which I never like taking these out because I don't know how much material's in here for the booklet. Usually there shouldn't really be a lot. So now let's get this back in. So I can tell you what I thought of this EP. And bit fiddly. This there we go, got it. So yeah, what you get from this EP? Heavy, atmospheric, dark, death, doom metal. And with this one, it's mainly focusing on the death metal side, but it's still really doomy. It's got that bit of dirt in the production, which is what you want from an EP, an album as well. So again, with Sangra Sugabog, and then there's quite a few other albums that I'm going to show here as well. And I got one more EP before I get onto the last few albums. But yeah, Visions from Beyond, and the man behind it, his name is Ollie Mason. And I'm pretty sure I met him when his other band, Fetus Christ, were playing a show with Len Chi in 2013. And I saw him other times before that. I might have chatted to him for a bit, or might have not, because I didn't really chat to too many people when I started going to a lot of local shows. But again, I definitely highly recommend that you listen to this. Listen to Visions from Beyond. I don't have a tape player, but I need a good cassette player anyway. But I don't know which one to go with, because some of them may chew the tape up, and I'm a bit scared of chewing this up. Because look how nice, it's a nice white tape as well. So definitely get Visions from Beyond's Drawing Down the Darkness, which is absolutely dark. It's heavy, and it's still got that dirt left in the production. Need a drink. Now, definitely this has been one of my favorite releases of this year. I had him on the chat, and he's a nice dude. I hope I get to meet him in real life. I'm talking about Jurgen and his one-man, I like to call Bloodborne death metal. And this is the debut EP. And you probably saw a bit of it already, because I showed it on the chat. Yep, the debut EP from Garden of Eyes, called Boomhammer. So I was reflecting a bit. The logo. Yes, of course, I bought this and from Black City, but I heard it because it was already posted online already. And this was released by Cavernous Records. And of course, I want to show the vinyl as well. Before I do that, and obviously, no, not Cavernous Records, it's Ancient Entity Records. But his other stuff has been released on Cavernous, which Cavernous Records do great stuff as well. And of course, there's the man himself, Jurgen. He told me where that was taken, the Paris Catacombs. If you have watched the chat, you would have known that already. Of course, another picture of him in a graveyard I think that's in Norwich, where he's from. Again, could be wrong. Yeah, what can I say about this release, about this EP? Basically what it said on the sticker when I bought it: Swedish style death metal from Norwich. But it's also got that mix of Finnish death metal thrown in there. And is obviously with this release and the previous releases, it's got that dirt in it. It's still got that dirt production in it, which is what you want. Excuse me. And here is the vinyl. Look at that. It's literally the color of the HM2 distortion pedal, which I do own. So if you have watched my chat with him, you would have seen it. And also with Fred XP from Dismember. But yeah, look at that. So band name there. Record label there. And luckily I bought some vinyl cleaner somewhere behind me. So I will be giving this a good clean before playing it. Now, I said Bloodborne death metal, and the reason for that is because all the lyrics evolve around Bloodborne. So if you love the game and you love death metal, this is definitely a band that you definitely need to have in your collection. I got the Eldritch death metal compilation, which were still available because I thought they were all sold out, completely gone. But luckily they weren't. So hang on, I'll sort that later. So definitely get Boomhammer by Golden Rise. His other half, his girlfriend, did the artwork, and that is absolutely beautiful. You got to admit that is absolutely beautiful. Fits the tone of the EP, fits the tone of the music. It's dirty, disgusting, Swedish style death metal with that hint of Finnish death metal thrown in the mix. Definitely. So definitely get Golden Rise, Boomhammer. Now, I'm on to the last few albums here. And the next one that I will show you, which has just got equal amounts of dirtiness. Yeah, you can tell I'm from Bristol because I said dirty. Is a band from Scotland. And this is their new release. And so I'm just going to get them up. And it's their debut EP. And I'm talking about Coffin Mulch and Septic Funeral, which I showed in the metal YouTuber appreciation night on Ken's Death Metal Crypt, which, of course, I was going to do some shout-outs to people that I have had on the chat or I've been watching on YouTube. So Jürgen, Ken, Liam, Mark, known as Marc G with a C, Liam the Death Doom Metalhead, Marty Worm, Brainsmasher, Melaine loves death metal, all those guys. Thank you for your support and to thank you for the support in more years to come. So yeah, what do you get with Coffin Mulch? What I said earlier, it's dirty sounding death metal. It's kind of in some ways punky, kind of grindy as well. And this cover, the back of the CD reminds me of the back of From Enslavement to Obliteration by Napalm Death. So have a look at that, and then have a look at Napalm Death, From Enslavement to Obliteration. I'm fairly sure they're all in the same spots as they are on that album to this EP. So Lee would be there on the back of From Enslavement, Bill would be there, Shane would be there, and Mick would be there on the back of From Enslavement to Obliteration. Nice yellow CD. And this is on what's the label? Redefining Darkness. All these labels I'm learning more about from the channels I mentioned. And if you already subscribe to those channels, then there's no point me putting them down there, but I'll put them there anyway because I'm going to put shout outs and then their names will be down there. Here's the band. And of course, picture of the band, three of them there. And Redefining Darkness label. It's a picture of the drummer there. Yeah, so I love my death metal, as you can probably tell. And when I heard this, I was just like, yes. And that's reminding me, the artworks, it's just reminding me of so many old school horror from the 70s and 80s, a lot of the Italian stuff, definitely, with this artwork. And of course, one of the releases that I don't have is going to be down below, which is all to do with Lucio Fulci stuff. Of course, one of my favorite bands is called Fulci, but we have Coffin Mulch here, and definitely you would see that in a horror film or your worst nightmares, depending. And I just hit my mic again. And definitely pick this up. It's just a solid album, a solid release. Absolutely freaking brilliant. And of course, again, the opinions, everyone's got their own opinions, but definitely I rate this album up there. Now the next one is another band that I got into around last year, maybe end of 2019. Yeah, this band, again, they're just heavy, they're dark and atmospheric. And this is their new one. It's Multifariam with their album Preserved in Torment. I'm pretty sure I said the first part of the album right. Looking at artwork, that just sums up their music. It reminds me of Spectral Voice a lot. This band reminds me of Spectral Voice, who I have seen a total of only 2 times. First time was with Demolic, which I have my mics blocking, and of course here in Bristol at the Exchange. There's the back, and that's on what label is that on? Profound Law, which I don't think I've heard of. What do you get with this album? I pretty much mentioned in that it's with the band that's dark and it's heavy, it's atmospheric, it's just a really heavy album, and I definitely want to see this band live. Of course, coming away from the States, can't remember where they're based at the moment. Hang on, I can quickly look that up now. They are from Olympia, Washington. That's it. They're from Washington. Hang on. So I spat onto my mic. That's not professional at all. So with this album, like with their last release, which was called, hang on, Disgorge from Psychotic Depths. Probably said that wrong as well. I'm doing my own pronunciations tonight. Yeah, this is just a heavy album, solid release. And with all these albums, they did come in, they all took their time with it. They didn't rush them out or anything like that. And again, you will get that Spectral Voice vibe from them, and even bands like I want to say Decomposed. I was going to say Disembowelment, but that's what I'm going to say about the next band. Yeah, Decomposed. I'm getting that bit of that vibe from them, and so many other bands. But definitely get this album by Multifariam, Preserved in Torment. Now, this band that I just mentioned, one of the bands that I got that vibe from, and so many other different bands as well. This is the new one by Floridian Funeral Doom, as they do class themselves as. But it's that mix of Funeral Doom, Death Doom, little bit of the Greek black metal scene. Of course, I'm talking about Worm and the new album, Foreverglade. Solid album. It again, Ken mentioned it in his last video that so much time and effort went into this. Of course, on the back we got Phantom Slaughter, and it's released by $20 Spin, who's one of my favorite labels. along with Cavernous Records. There's so many. I just had a lot of labels in mind, but Dot Descent, there's that one. Yeah, I'm gonna get the book out. I think I see the album better. What do you get with Foreverglade? It's what I've said about a lot of these Death Doom albums and albums with that dark atmosphere. It's got that dark atmosphere. It's got that great blend of funeral doom and death doom and yeah, look at this artwork, absolutely mental in here. Of course, we've got that, and on the back, look at that. It's a dark sounding album, and just the amount of time and effort that went into this album is just extraordinary. And of course, we've got the CD here, so nice pink, like what, black and purple. I don't think there's another picture, because there was another picture in here of all the band members. But if you look at that picture, it's all of them in cloaked hoods, and they definitely remind me of seeing members in a black metal band. And with the sound that they gone with, obviously they got the Florida sound being from Florida in the Everglades. That's the title of the album, and it's probably one of the reasons for Everglade. The vibes that I got from this album, definitely Disembowelment from Australia, Skepticism from Finland. There's a bunch more of the bands that I got in here, and obviously with the keyboards, definitely got Rotting Christ vibes with that, with the Greek black metal sound. And what else can I say about it that hasn't already been said? I said it's a dark album. A lot of time and effort went into this. It's got the vibes of Disembowelment, Skepticism, Rotting Christ. I can name so many more of the bands, but those are the three that pop into my head the most. And I highly recommend people get this. And also the last release, Gloomlord. Gloomlord was a fantastic album, but this is just one step higher than that. And if I was wearing a hat, I would tip my hat off to everyone in this band, to Phantom Slaughter, to Ecroman Thorn, to everyone in this band. Well done, lads. This is a solid release. I highly recommend that people pick it up. You won't be disappointed if you are into that dark, heavy sounding funeral, death, doom metal. Now for the last releases. This next one definitely became one of my favorites when I heard it. This came out in January. This is a death metal band from Texas. And they got a vibe of a certain British death metal band that has been one of my favorites for a long time. I only got to see that band once. And the band that I'm talking about that has that sound is Frozen Soul with their debut album, Crypt of Ice. Just fucking beautifully done. It's heavy. It's old school sounding. Everything from the instruments to the vocals, like I've said from the previous ones. And so much time went into it. And of course, another Century Media release. I'm going to show the band here. And I've had two of the guys from here. I had Chad and Michael on the chat if anyone's watched that video. I think there's another picture of him in here. It's a bit dark, so it might be a bit dark. Oh no, it's showing good on the camera. I'm trying to think which one's Michael. Michael there. And Chad is no right there. Yeah, just a fantastically made album. All the ones they've shown are, and that's my opinion. Like I said, sound like a broken record. Everyone's got their own opinion, but here, I loved everything. This is the CD. With this album, what you get is old school sounding death metal. And of course, the vibe I got from this band, the entire album straight away, was Bolt Thrower. You can definitely tell with this band, they are Bolt Thrower fans. And yeah, they are definitely Bolt Thrower fans. And it's just stupid how fucking awesome this album is, because I just went completely like, fuck, I've gone like, I was just like, wow, that's just fucking amazing. I'm just like, how, fuck it. Like, I'm even lost for words now. I definitely highly recommend that people buy this album. You listen to the band. And I'm jealous of those who have seen these guys live, because I'd love to see them come to the UK sometime next year, or even the year after that would be amazing. I mean, next year would be perfect. That'd be great. And I don't know, there's fans here in Bristol, even just in the UK itself, that are a fan of this album, you know. And again, like when I said, it's just stupid how fucking awesome this album is, and all the other albums are and EPs that I've shown are. I'm just like, fuck, man, because I'm trying to do stuff like write some, you know, music for my own bands, and I'm just like, if I can just get on somewhat of a level with these bands, that'd be brilliant. And if I can write something like this in my own death metal band, I'd be like, how the hell did I accomplish that? But these guys here, when they made this album, they accomplished something, and this album's gonna be up there for a long time. And I mean for a long time. And yeah, don't know what else to say about it. Just a fucking awesome album. Frozen Soul, Crypt of Ice. And now for the last album. This band is out from Birmingham, and mentioning Bolt Thrower earlier, one of the guys from Bolt Thrower is in this band, and obviously everyone knows that. So I'm going to get on with it. It's Memoriam with their new album, To the End. Absolutely fantastic. And I've met Carl Willits. I've had him on Jake's Metal Chat, as a lot of you know. And I met him in person at Bloodstock, and I was at the front for the entire set of this band. And I saw him in 2016 when the band formed and they played Bloodstock on the Sophie stage. And of course, got the CD and the band there. And what you get with this album is old school sounding death metal. And with the last song, As My Heart Grows Cold, I got a Candlemass vibe from that, definitely. Because when Cole mentioned Candlemass on another interview that he did with a YouTuber called A&P Reacts. I might have said the names wrong. Or I might be right. And he definitely mentioned, I think he mentioned Candlemass 5 on there, but yeah, I definitely got a Candlemass 5 from there. And of course, my favorite songs on here are Onwards into Battle, Failure to Comply, Mass Psychosis, and of course, As My Heart Grows Cold. And it's on Reaper Entertainment. If you don't have this album yet, I highly recommend that you do get it. Or you haven't got any of their albums, get them, because they're all fucking awesome. Because I bought pretty much all the albums as soon as they were released. Obviously, this one didn't come out last year. It came out this year. Because I think they wanted to wait a bit before they released it. And I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed with any of these releases that I showed you. And yeah, I just loved everything I showed you here. And I hope to see these guys again. Well, I did see them at Vikings because quite a lot of bands pulled out. And I'm glad that these guys played there again because I thought, cool, perfect band, one of the perfect bands to see at the end of the year. Definitely. And it's just a beautifully done album. It's awesome. Again, like I said, with all the albums, everything is just brilliant, from the instruments to the vocals, just everything on here is done beautifully. So well done to that, Carl, if you're watching this. And that was Memoriam, and that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed my list. Comment down below your opinions on these albums and any other recommendations that I might have missed this year. And I'm hoping to do better for next year. And just another reminder, 7 p.m. UK time here, my live stream of Black City Records be up here on YouTube, my Facebook page, and my Twitch channel. So thank you everyone for tuning in to this video. I hope you all had a great Christmas. You are going to have a great new year. And I hope to see a lot of you at gigs or any other events that interest you. And of course, I look forward to reading any comments that you have down there about your favorite albums and your opinion on those albums. So take care of yourselves. I've been Jacob, Jake's Metal Chat. And keep that banner of metal held high. See ya.